A very good morning to all the students. This is Veena teacher. I hope all of you are safe and fine. Children, recently we saw one PPT on COVID virus. I'm sure all of you must be taking the adequate precautions. So children, always remember, prevention is better than cure. Stay safe. Now let us start with the topic, that is biological classification. Now children, from today's class onwards, we are going to actually go into the topics that you may not be familiar with, because you might not have studied about them in your lower classes, but nevertheless I'll make these topics as simple as possible. So all of you please hang in there with me and then follow what I'm saying. Now we're going to start with the biological classification. Now let us understand the term biodiversity. You might have come across this term many times, biodiversity. The term biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the entire number and types of organisms present on the earth. The living organism includes all the living organisms such as microorganisms, plants, animals, as well as human beings. Biodiversity is not limited to existing forms of life. As we continue to explore new areas, even the old ones and new organisms are continuously being added. This huge availability of a variety of the organisms cannot be studied and identified without having a proper system of classification and nomenclature. So that's the reason why it is very important that as and when we discover a new plant, new microorganism, new animal, it has to get classified properly. Otherwise, this will lead to a lot of confusion and chaos. Now let us still see what exactly are the features or what exactly are the benefits that we get when we classify an organism. Now look at this picture. In this picture you can see there are various kinds of animals are there, plants are there, and then the plants are of different types and the animals are of different types. Now when I ask you to study these animals or plants, it's going to be very difficult because there are so many in this picture, and it will take a lot of time for you to study these animals and plants individually. But when I say that these are all classified and these animals and plants are grouped under various categories under the system of classification, then it's going to be much more systematic and simple for us to study. In that case, you will see that you can see in this picture only that the birds can be clubbed together, the insects can be clubbed together, even the reptiles can be clubbed together. And here when you come to the plants and trees, shrubs, herbs, dicots, monocots, so you can make different types of classification systems, and then you can categorize them under various categories. That makes our study rather very. Now let us start with the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. We have discussed about this before, but I would like to discuss about this once again. I'll just give you the gist of these prokaryotic cells. These are the ones which do not have any nucleus, and your bacteria, they belong to prokaryotic cell category. Coming to the eukaryotic cell, these cells, apart from the bacteria, all you have protozoans, fungi, plants, animals. In fact, any cell that contains the nucleus, it belongs to the eukaryotic cell. All of you please keep this in your mind, because whatever we are going to study further is going to require what is prokaryotic cell and what is eukaryotic cell. You should be very clear about this concept. Now coming to the three domains of life. This is a very important topic. All of you please pay attention. This was given by Carl Woese. Now according to Carl Woese, he gave three domains of life. And then if you see this picture very carefully, all these are having a common ancestor. So probably when the life started to form on earth, we had only very few kinds of organisms, and from this organism the rest of the organisms came into existence. So from the common ancestor, this might have taken millions of years, we have now the first domain that is found is bacteria, followed by the archaea, and followed by the eukarya. And here you can see in this picture, domain virus is separate. Why this is separate? Because it does not belong to it does not get the status of proper living organism, because the virus are living only when they get a host. If the virus is not living inside the host, then it is as simple or as easy as a chemical. So when we talk about three domains of life, we have three domains: bacteria, archaea, eukarya. Okay, or we can also call it as archaea, eubacteria, eukarya. Okay, eubacteria means new bacteria. Archaea, the word root word here is archaeology, or which is very old things. Archaeology means study of old things. So archaea, these are the bacteria which were present on the earth time immemorial. Okay, so when the earth was being formed, when the conditions are not conducive for the life, that time we had archaea present, and then later bacteria. Now let us see the difference between archaea, eubacteria and eukaryotes. Both archaea and eubacteria are prokaryotic cells, only eukaryotes are eukaryotic cells. Now already we studied about this. Histones are absent in prokaryotes. So histones are absent in archaea and eubacteria, present in eukaryotes. This also we studied this before only. 70S ribosome is present in archaea and eubacteria. It is present in 80S is present in eukaryotes. Cell wall is made up of pseudopeptidoglycan. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, and here animals no cell wall, plant cellulose, fungi chitin. Now this is very interesting to know that the archaea, they are present in extreme environmental conditions. Okay, so methanogens, halophiles, thermoacidophiles mean these. Halophiles means where there is very high amount of salt concentration. Thermoacidophiles means where temperature is very high and acid conditions are there. So these bacteria, they are present only in these regions. Whereas eubacteria, these are the normal bacteria which are present everywhere. Okay, they are present inside our body, on our skin, in the plants, on the plants, etc. And eukaryotes, as all of you know, Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia, all these belong to eukaryotes. Okay children, we'll stop here. We will discuss something else in the next class. All of you stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.